As the wagon wheel was essential to pioneer travel, so these brief videos are essential to help you understand how all trails lead to you. You will love the amazing insights you will have. The wagon wheel is used as our theme for this short series of 4-minute presentations. You will get the most out of these presentations by viewing them in the order given. We begin this adventure with a look at the exciting interactive monuments map, a fun way to add diversity to your next trip. This map will make it easy for you to locate monuments along your way. After you go to SUP1847.com, you will just click on Monuments. Here, you are on our interactive monuments map database, which is totally free. You will see that you can choose to either see a list of monuments by name and location, or use an interactive monuments map. Let's do a quick example by clicking on Interactive Map Database and pick one of the many monuments between Salt Lake City and St. George, Utah. This first page shows the number of monuments within the map area, but it is covering too much area. So we can either use the plus and minus signs in the upper left-hand corner or click on the orange circle. That is better, but we need to keep clicking on the area of interest until we get down to the specific monument locations. Start by clicking on the 43, then on the 4. You will see on this page that historic sites and museums are shown by the pin tabs and the individual markers are in red. Next, we click on the green 2 and see 2 markers just south of Beaver, Utah. In most cases, we can just follow the map to the specific marker. But if the location isn't clear enough on the map, just look up the marker name on the digital master list mentioned earlier. In addition to background information and pictures, it will also provide directions and coordinates for your GPS. The Monuments feature helps you see the struggles, suffering, and foresightful planning of your pioneer ancestors. Each monument was a stepping stone that helped create the world you now live in, leaving a trail that leads to you. You will enjoy working with this site. Just remember to go to SUP1847.com and click on Monuments. This experience will add variety and spice to your next family road trip. While on SUP1847.com, you can also check out membership options, our exceptional quarterly Pioneer magazine, Pioneer Stories, and many videos. And here we are, back where you started. Clicking on number 2 will teach you how to use the amazing interactive Overland Trails database. Here we are at the Overland Trails spoke of the wagon wheel. You will find that some of this spoke is part of Family Search, but the Sons of Utah Pioneers recognizes the superb value of this database as we try to fill in the stories of our pioneer ancestors. So what can the Overland Trails database do for you? You have already Googled your pioneer's name and birth date and found that he was in Missouri, then in Utah. What? Where is the story in that? How do you fill in the story he didn't write? Well, let's see what happens when we Google Pioneer Overland Travels. Wow, the entry pops right up under Pioneer Database, Church History. Since we don't even know if he came alone or with a company, we'll choose Pioneer Overland Travels and enter his name and birth year. For this exercise, we'll enter the name of a real pioneer using Thomas B. Foy. Look at that. With the click of a button, you have the company name, who he traveled with, vital stats and sources that mention his name. After you update your records with names and dates, you will want to also check out the sources to see what they contain that may be of value to you. That is not all. Rather than going all the way back to where you chose Pioneer Overland Travels, just click on the company name of the page. That report produces a general report of the company with many sources containing pertinent information written by various members of the company. As you study those sources, you will develop a deeper love for that pioneer because you will get a glimpse of the trials, the heartache, the joys, the singing, the humor experienced along the way. Certainly, much of what was recorded by one was experienced by all. You can also choose to see the names of all members of the company. They traveled together, cried together, and suffered together, but they also helped one another reach their journey while enjoying support, laughter, and music and peace along the way. At the end of this journey, notice what you now feel about your pioneer and those of the company that made this monumental trek together. Like the Pioneer Wagon Wheel illustration, all of these spokes work together to broaden your understanding and love for those intrepid pioneers. Their struggles and determination blaze the trails of today's world, and they all point to you. Now that you have completed the story of your pioneer ancestor, submit it for others to view on both SUP1847.com and FamilySearch.org. Speaking of stories, the next spoke of this wagon wheel gives some awesome information on our pioneer stories. Just click on number 3. You are now on the Pioneer Stories spoke of our wagon wheel. The Sons of Utah Pioneers has been collecting stories of their pioneer ancestors over the years and is eagerly adding them to this searchable database. Here, you will be able to find stories of your ancestors or read any number of stories that will make these pioneers come alive to you. After this 4-minute segment, you will be able to easily navigate the Pioneer Stories database. We start by Googling SUP1847.com and click on Stories. Here you are on our Pioneer Stories database, which is totally free. Genealogy research often leaves you with many names, dates, and places, but you still don't feel a connection with those names until you know their stories. This interactive search engine will pull up the stories of any name you enter that is in our Pioneer Stories database, even if that name is just mentioned in the story of another pioneer. Let's walk you through an example by entering the name of Alan Taylor in the search bar, or use another name of another pioneer that you prefer. Wait for the search wheel at the top to stop spinning. A list of stories on file with that name will show up. Click on a story you want to read, and it pops up. Second, when you finish reading that story, you can go back to the list and pick up another story to view, or you can go back to the search bar again for another search. You will probably have so much fun with this feature that you will start reading stories of pioneers you don't even know. Third, other options at the top of the Stories database include the Go-To tab, which takes you to Pioneer Stories, Pioneer Magazine, Pioneer Sites, videos, and more. The How-To tab provides site navigation and how to register with SUP. Fourth, try this yourself later to find stories of your ancestors. Remember to start with SUP1847.com, hit Stories, and enjoy. That was fun. You can also submit your own Pioneer stories by just following the instructions on the Pioneer Stories homepage. So now you will want to learn about the new Worldwide Pioneer chapter by clicking on number 4. This spoke of the All Trails Lead to You wagon wheel is the amazing Worldwide Pioneer chapter of the Sons of Utah Pioneers. Many of you live great distances from the nearest chapter, so this wonderful chapter covers all of you. Let's take a quick look at what it is all about. We begin with the homepage of the Sons of Utah Pioneers at SUP1847.com. At this point, you will click on Chapters and scroll down to Worldwide Pioneer chapter near the bottom. Here you will see contact information for the chapter president and the national SUP office. They will answer your questions and show you how to get to the chapter website and how to join. Many local chapters have monthly meetings with members and their wives with a meal and guest speaker. This Worldwide Pioneer chapter won't be able to do that, but will be able to share special monthly historical reports shared by its members, focus on specialty interests, and feel the personal togetherness of the other members of this chapter. One advantage they will have will be the broad historical knowledge they will have because of their widespread locations. Each member will be able to share special historical events from the distant past of their current locations. You will find that there are inspirational stories found everywhere in the world. They can choose to have some of their news held in an area that only members of the chapter or invited guests can enjoy, or they can post items for all SUP members to view. What you do with your chapter is up to you and your board. For example, a world map with markers on the location of its members would be fun to see. Your membership in this chapter will give you full membership in the Sons of Utah Pioneers. In addition to experiencing your chapter events, you will be able to view their database of pioneer stories and find the locations of various historic monuments and sites. In addition, the website allows you to view many inspirational videos and receive the quarterly Pioneer magazine. This magazine is a world-class magazine which focuses on early settlements and events in the lives of those intrepid pioneers. Let's grab a random magazine from back in 2017, which covered the Mormon Battalion. The features listed inside the front cover of this 70-page magazine should stir the interest of anyone and everyone. There is even an article about 6 battalion members getting employment after their discharge in building a sawmill for John Sutter in Northern California. When they discovered gold in the tail race, the gold rush was on. Find out how to join this worldwide pioneer chapter by going to sup1847.com and click on the Join Us button, then Join Now. It will give you the options and walk you through a few simple steps to join. Regardless of where you live, you can see how this worldwide chapter also reaches out to you. Here we are at the hub of the will, which is you. You don't believe all trails lead to you? Let's take a look. Consider who and what you are by asking a few questions. Where did the physical you come from? What in your past has defined the you of today? How do pioneer stories and monuments lead to you? Can you see that everything around you led to you? Answers to these few questions will show you how all trails lead to you. Where did the physical you come from? The obvious answer is that you came from your parents. But is it that simple? The only reason a DNA test can tell your ancestral origins is because each generation passes on genes, and some are specific to race and location. So you can see there is a very long DNA trail of people leading to you. What in your past has defined the you of today? The past events in your life have had a powerful effect on who you are today. In fact, the past influential events go way back beyond your birth, because the events of your parents, grandparents, and so on created outcomes that left a trail that led to you. How do pioneer stories and monuments lead to you? All of history has brought us to who and where we are today. You may have had pioneer ancestors that suffered greatly while coming to Utah. Many of the towns and roads you enjoy were first established by those intrepid pioneers. In fact, everyone everywhere today has had ancestors that were pioneers in their own way. They also suffered and struggled to make your world better than the one they were in. Learning about their struggles will make you love them more because they blazed the trail that led to you. Can you see that everything around you led to you? Even our worldwide pioneer chapter is focused on bringing like-minded people together in celebrating the trails that led to you. We could go on, but it doesn't take long to see that everything you see and do has followed a trail of genetics, discovery, and events that have led to the you of today. When you drive up to the store today to pick up some groceries, look at everything around you and see the many trails that lead and led to you. Tell your friends and neighbors about your experience with this presentation so they can check it out and see the trails that led to them. Don't forget that we have a second presentation entitled Pioneer Survival Skills that you will enjoy. Thank you. Check us out at the Sons of Utah Pioneers, sup1847.com.